time to go to work. I got a long drive every day to work. Takes about a half hour, so I'm going to try and do a video while I'm driving. I've done it before, lived through it. Can't be any worse than the Zodiac Killer. I remember the hardest part is trying to get the camera to stay in one place so it can see what I'm doing. Then the shift lever gets in the way. I thought about telling you about a lot of different things, and I just can't figure out which one is going to bring the most attention, but I thought maybe if I could give you an idea of why I think I was able to escape from these guys when a lot of other people weren't. Maybe it'll help you understand that. I don't know if it's going to be interesting or not, but I was blessed with phenomenal vision when I was a kid. I had 20/10 vision. I could see things happening far, far away. And I could, up close, I could see almost microscopically. And that really helped me a lot. Plus, I was blessed with really good peripheral vision. That's the ability to see out here to the side. I could see almost behind me, so I could turn my head this much, and I could pretty much see everything around me. And it could be a long, long ways away. I never realized what a blessing that was, because every time these guys would try to triangulate on me, I would see them coming, and I would start my evasive maneuvers. And a lot of times I didn't know. I mean, I never knew it was the same guys all the time, but a lot of times because I never got close enough for me to see them. But I somehow got used to the movement of people, I guess, from going to stores and different places like that. People move differently when they're stalking you, and especially when there's three of them, and they're looking in your direction, or they're acting like they're not looking in your direction when you look in their direction. But when you look away, and remember, I could look away here and see them over there, and then they would start looking at me. A lot of different little techniques that had to do with vision. I don't think my hearing was ever very good, but I have heard them sneaking up on me in the woods. Now, one time I had gone to this restaurant down there in Mexico City called Gato Loco, and they have the really best steaks. Man, I love to eat those ribeyes. You come out of the restaurant, and it's a 1-block walk to the main street, which was Reforma. And Reforma was it still is, it's a gigantic kind of central street in Mexico City. And it has a huge median with gardens and things like that in it. And I come out of that restaurant one time, and once I stepped in from between those buildings after making that first block walk, I just turned my head like this, and I could see somebody standing down there and somebody standing down there. Well, they didn't know I could see them, because they didn't know I could almost see behind me. And I don't remember what I did. I think I backed up for a little bit, and then I took off again, and I was thinking, it's odd, because there was no one out there that day except me and these guys that I got the feeling were triangulating on me. So I made a left turn down that street and walked along the building, And John Anglin was down there about 2 buildings away, and he started coming at me. And Frank, and I think it was Frank, I don't know, I think Frank had actually come up the street that I had come up, so that if I tried to double back to the restaurant, they could stop me. And set the cruise control here. Got to make something in this car drive itself. I'm not paying attention. But anyway, it's many years ago, you know, but I do recall faking these guys out somehow, making a turn like I was going to go back down in between the buildings, and there's another street at the end of the buildings, so they knew they could get to that street and come together to catch me. And somehow, I think I actually turned the corner and started running. So they signaled each other. I saw them signaling each other, which also helped me understand that, you know, I'm not going to get too near these guys. And they're signaling each other, and they took off running down their respective streets to get to that other street that went parallel to the one I was walking on. And, you know, I went just a few steps down that street. They couldn't see me because I was between these big buildings. And I kind of peeked back out, and I didn't see them anywhere, and I ran straight across, jumped the median and went to the other side. And by the time they got over to the street, met each other, and decided where they thought I was going to come out at, and checked all the streets, I was already on the subway and gone back home. Just to give you an idea of how I got away from these guys so many times, it was always that kind of thing. You know, people think, you see these murder mysteries, and they got these people, and they're cutting them up and stabbing them, and they're bleeding, and they're running to get away, and all of a sudden the person's right there in front of them, and they run the other way, and the person's over there, and all that. These guys did that kind of thing. That's why they wore the mask, because the 3 of them could make a person get so scared and go so crazy, because they would think they were losing their mind. They would, here's the mass murderer, turn around, run the other way, and he's over there too, like he was some kind of ghost or something, and he could move anywhere. And you're looking at 2 different people wearing the same outfit. That kind of thing never happened to me. You know, the one time that Frank showed me the Zodiac Killer mask, and he was in his room. Maybe I need to tell that story again. And he made me stay outside, and he said, okay, you can step in front of the door and look. And I looked, and the Anglins come up behind me and tried to push me inside, and he was standing there wearing the exact same uniform that he used at Lake Berryessa, and it's the one that they drew the picture of him that you see if you type in Zodiac Killer. You see him standing under the lights at night in the fog, trying to look real scary and everything. That's what he was wearing, and I didn't recognize it as anything. I just told him, you know, Halloween's over, so get out of here. And I ducked when they tried to push me, and I took off running and went home. But that's another place where my super peripheral vision helped me, because I actually saw them coming at me, and just didn't know that what they were up to, but it didn't seem right that they were coming at, you know, and at the same pace, and they wanted something that I didn't want, I could tell. So, you know, that's the kind of escapes that I've lived with all my life. You know, it's not what you see on TV when you see a murderer stabbing some girl, and she's screaming and bleeding and running all over the house and keeps running into the same murderer. They never got me into that kind of a situation, and I could have scared them a few times too, because I told Frank a couple of times to get him off my back. Just wait. When you get up tomorrow morning, you get out of your bed, you better look around really, really good, because I'm going to be watching you. And then I would just leave. He would look like Moe on the Three Stooges. He said they used to call those guys, him and the Anglin brothers, the Three Stooges, when they were in prison and at Alcatraz, because he would be like, and he was like Moe and the Three Stooges. Well, listen, you bunch of stooges. I still need my subscribers to give me some ideas about what you want me to talk about, because I got a million things in mind, and I go through this story over and over and over and take a long time to hit on the same thing again, because they were after me for my entire life. And the mistake that I would make was to go to Mexico on vacation, end up talking to him again, and then they would follow me back to Florida and start it all over again. That's why it was almost like Frank wanted to tell me, look, why do you keep walking by my house? I'm a crazy killer. Now I've seen you. I have to kill you. And I had already managed to forget you, and I wasn't looking for you anymore. Now I got to go chase you down. It's almost like that's what he was trying to say. Hey, I better drive. I'm on the freeway now. Here, let's take a look. See you later.